Hello again. Welcome to Conversations with Spirit, where I talk about moments in life that I have had with my spirit guides and how these moments, how these conversations have shaped my life and how they might be able to shape yours as well. So, in today's convo, we are talking about past lives and spirit guides. Can spirit guides follow you through past lives into this one, how they can shape this lifetime? Most definitely, definitely. I met my spirit guides before I knew anything really about past lives and how past lives were influencing my choices here. Now, of course, I always had an interest in past lives, but not to the point where I wanted to do anything with it. Now, when I met my spirit guide, Sunny was my very first guide. I still work with Sunny. We took a hiatus for almost a year, a couple of years ago, and I tell you, it was like having a breakup. I cried. I made an announcement on Facebook. It's just that it was horrible. Um, But before that, I was going through the motions of connecting with my spirit guide, doing all of the right things. I could hear, see, feel my spirit guide really, really, really easily. Um, and to be quite honest, having a relationship with my spirit guide felt easier than having relationships with humans, probably because I subconsciously knew there was no judgment. I could completely be myself. So because I could be myself, it was easy for that communication to just come through, right? But what I was struggling with was the relationship I was having at the time. And this relationship was such a struggle. What it was doing, it was triggering my seizures, my epileptic seizures. And I got the advice from my guide to go into my past lives. And I can't remember what came first because I was shown a past life related to the relationship and a past life related to my epilepsy. And that's how cool it is. And in both, I was shown my guide, Sunny, with me. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to tell you about a particular one related to my epilepsy. So I'm there, and it basically looks like a time where, uh, well, before humans had houses. Um, and I remember like the Dark Ages, um, and I remember seeing myself like crawling on all fours, and I knew immediately it was me, and I couldn't walk upright because my spine was completely deformed. And I'd been cast out of my family because of this deformity that I was born with. They assumed that I had been deformed because the devil had done something wrong, or not done something wrong, but you know, I was cursed. And so I'm going along this beach, this completely abandoned beach, searching for food, walking on all fours, barely any clothes. I cannot speak because I have been completely abandoned. I'm very small, looking at me, I'm probably only 4, 5 years old. And then I'm shown my spirit guide, Sunny, come and take me from a neighboring family. And I get the impression that the families aren't meant to mix. And he takes me and introduces me to the family. And he's head of the community. And the first thing he does is he begins to feed me. And I noticed that there's, groups of men and women, and they're reading and they're playing music, and it's all very communal, and it's all really like serene and beautiful, something that I've never heard before and I'm not used to. And I noticed, looking at this, these immediate moments of clarity. Like, oh my God, that's where I have my love of music in this lifetime. And books, like music and books, still now, that's what I escape into when I'm feeling dysregulated, when I'm stressed, whenever I need a moment of upliftment or clarity. Books and music are like meditation to me. They're like meditation, connection. They were my, when I didn't want to meditate, like, lotus position type style meditation. That was like meditation. It was so easy for me to connect with my guides in the early days by listening to music, by reading a book. That was how I allowed myself to heal when I got out of some really abusive situations. When I was a child, before I was diagnosed with epilepsy, reading, listening to music was how I self-soothed. So when I recognized that, like immediately, like just tears. And then it skipped, because when you're seeing past lives, it is like watching a movie in fast forward, and you're seeing the scenes shot by shot. And then I saw Sunny, my guide, allocate different members of the community to me for different reasons. Some women would assist in washing me. Some women would assist in reading to me. Some women would assist in washing my feet. And this would all be to help me to learn to be okay with accepting help and comfort, and knowing that my body wasn't this point of shame, rejection, disgust, that my body was actually mine, and that it deserved love, it deserved nourishment and nurture. And over time, as I was with the community and they were like loving me, through love, they were healing me, my spine straightened gradually. And with that, they taught me to read, communicate, sing. And it was just really beautiful. And I came away from that past life thinking, I've not allowed myself to be nourished. I've not allowed myself to be taken care of. In this lifetime, I'm in the equivalent of being with the family that's rejecting me, except I'm refusing to go because I think that's all there is, because that's all I can see. And that's why I was still hurting. And that hurt was coming through my seizures. It was coming through my feeling like I couldn't reach out for help. It was coming through the words that I was using to speak about myself. The mind and the body are incredibly powerful. And as I saw other past lives and connected the dots, it gave me the courage to go, no more. And within days, I was able to release that person. And I was able to release that person. And I will say this, that particular person, I had tried to let them go 5 times before. But this, seeing this, something shifted within me and I let them go and they never came back again, because I knew that I had to give myself something that could not come from anybody else. And also my discomfort when they left, my sadness, my tears, my fears weren't something to be frightened of. That they were okay to be felt, that they were okay to be heard, that I could seek out support from people that loved me, that cared about me, and they could hold me without that safe space being transactional. Like, okay, I'm asking for help, but now I need to give you something in return for asking for it. And that takes a lot of courage. So whilst, yes, seeing my past lives gave me courage, it gave me insight to the parts of my subconscious, my behaviors that I know without a shadow of a doubt that help me take action that eventually I would have taken the right action. But what it did do is it helped me take action in a way that didn't make me feel guilty for. And I think that's what it is. It didn't perpetuate the cycle either. Because there's a difference between making decisions from a soul level self, an intuitive level self, and an aspect of you that's like, well, I know this shouldn't be happening, so I'm gonna take this. It comes from the mind, but nothing changes from within, and that's why patterns repeat. And so after that, I had to continue to do the inner work. So that did look like past life work, that did look like the spiritual work, but it also looked like the mindset work, the nervous system regulation work, the reaching out to mentors and therapists and counselors, because it's not a one and done. The thing I love about this spiritual work is it gives you a foundation. But living in a 3D world also helps you to draw on other resources as well. So you most definitely can experience past lives alongside your spirit guides. It's all part of variety. It's all part of the fun. Okay, lots of love.